Imagine waking up one morning without the familiar background tension about money. No silent calculations running in your head, no anxiety when opening your banking app, no vague fear about the future hiding behind everyday decisions. This state of calm does not come from earning more overnight or winning financial luck. It comes from something far less dramatic but far more powerful: the habit of managing your personal finances intentionally. Personal financial management is not about numbers alone. It is about clarity, control, and the freedom to think beyond survival. Most people experience money as a source of stress because they interact with it reactively. Bills arrive, expenses happen, and decisions are made under pressure. When money is unmanaged, it becomes invisible until it creates discomfort. This is why financial stress often feels constant and exhausting. Managing your finances turns money from an emotional trigger into a practical tool. You stop guessing and start knowing. And that shift changes how you live. At its core, personal financial management is about awareness. You cannot manage what you do not see. Many people avoid looking closely at their finances because they associate it with guilt, fear, or self-judgment. But avoidance is what gives money its power over you. The moment you begin tracking where your money comes from and where it goes, uncertainty starts to dissolve. Even uncomfortable truths are less stressful than vague fear. One of the most important mental benefits of managing your finances is a sense of control. Life is full of uncertainties, but money does not have to be one of them. When you understand your financial situation, you regain agency. Decisions become intentional instead of reactive. You no longer wonder whether you can afford something. This clarity reduces anxiety and increases confidence in everyday choices. Financial habits are also deeply connected to identity. When people say they are bad with money, they are often describing habits, not ability. Managing your finances consistently reshapes how you see yourself. You stop viewing money as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something you direct. This identity shift matters because behavior follows identity more easily than motivation. You don't need to force discipline when being financially responsible becomes part of who you are. Another powerful aspect of financial management is how it reduces decision fatigue. When finances are unclear, every purchase becomes a mental negotiation. Should I buy this? Can I afford that? Am I making a mistake? This constant uncertainty drains energy. Clear financial habits remove friction. When you have systems in place, many decisions are already made. You spend less mental energy on money and more on things that matter. Managing personal finances also builds patience. In a world that encourages instant gratification, financial discipline teaches delayed satisfaction. This skill transfers into other areas of life. People who manage money well often develop better emotional regulation, stronger long-term thinking, and greater resilience. They are less impulsive, not because they lack desire, but because they value future stability more than temporary pleasure. Financial habits also shape your relationship with stress. Unexpected expenses are one of the biggest triggers of anxiety. When finances are unmanaged, even small surprises feel like emergencies. But when you plan, save, and anticipate, problems lose their emotional weight. Challenges still exist, but they no longer threaten your sense of safety. This emotional buffer is one of the greatest hidden benefits of financial management. Another overlooked benefit is freedom of choice. Money does not buy happiness, but lack of money limits options. Managing your finances increases flexibility. It gives you room to say no to things that drain you and yes to things that align with your values. Over time, this freedom compounds. You are no longer trapped by short-term decisions made under pressure. The habit of financial management also improves relationships. Money is one of the most common sources of conflict, both internally and with others. When finances are unclear, misunderstandings grow. Transparency, even with yourself, reduces tension. You communicate more clearly, set healthier boundaries, and avoid resentment rooted in financial stress. Clarity replaces assumption. Importantly, managing finances does not require perfection. Mistakes will happen. Unexpected costs will appear. Income may fluctuate. The goal is not control over every outcome, but consistency in behavior. Small, repeated actions matter more than dramatic financial changes. Progress comes from showing up regularly, not from one perfect plan. Financial management also teaches self-respect. When you plan for your future, you are taking care of a version of yourself that does not exist yet. This long-term mindset strengthens discipline and self-trust. You begin to believe that your future is worth protecting. This belief influences how you spend, save, and choose opportunities. Over time, managing your finances becomes less about restriction and more about alignment. You stop spending to cope and start spending with purpose. You stop fearing money conversations and start engaging with them calmly. You stop avoiding numbers and start using them as feedback. Money becomes information, not judgment. Perhaps the most profound change is psychological. When financial stress decreases, mental space opens up, creativity improves, focus sharpens. You think beyond immediate needs. Many people underestimate how much mental energy money anxiety consumes. Removing that burden is life-changing. In the end, personal financial management is not about becoming rich. It is about becoming stable, intentional, and free from constant financial worry. It is a quiet habit with loud consequences. When you manage your money well, you are not just organizing your finances. You are designing a life with fewer fears and more choices. And that freedom, built slowly and deliberately, is one of the most valuable forms of wealth you can create.